All right. Wow. Technology, my best friend. I think we all know that. Hello, ladies. Happy Friday, Junior. Welcome to another Friday Junior edition of Female Fat Loss Formula, doing all the fun things, and just kind of dropping some knowledge bombs on you guys. So I hope everybody's having an amazing week. If you are watching live, will you do me a huge favor and hit that like or drop a comment and tell me you're here? And if you have any questions or anything, please make sure you're posting those things, right? My whole goal here is to answer questions as best as I possibly can. And if you don't ask them, then I'm just answering my own questions, which is really effing boring, you guys. So, anyways, here I am, trying to go back and forth on my phone and my computer to see what's going on here. But welcome again. If you are watching live, please hit the like button. Just show me some love. Show me you're here so that I know I'm not talking to just myself all the time. Anyways, so today's chat is all about front loading your days for fat loss, you guys. One of the big issues that I see when women start, getting on this health journey, they start the week strong, right? Oh, Monday, fucking killing it. Tuesday, all right, we're doing okay. Wednesday, we start to pitter out, right? That's a big challenge. But one of the bigger things is just taking a look at that single day and how you're thriving throughout the day. I would say one of the best things for me that has helped me to be really, really successful with hitting my goals is starting early, just first thing in the morning, right? So if you are somebody who is dragging yourself out of bed, who is not waking up feeling rested, you're already 10 steps behind everybody else, you guys, because the energy's not there. You're not going to really want to do the things you need to do. And I'm telling you that first thing in the morning, before your brain is really turned on and registering what the hell it is that you're doing, that is the ideal time to start working on the things that maybe you don't necessarily want to be doing, right? And doing the things that can be tougher. So I oftentimes, again, see women who struggle with let's just say hitting their protein goal for the day, hitting their calorie goal for the day, hitting their step count for the day. And why? Because they waited until the end of the day. That right there is setting you up for automatic failure, you guys, because I know me personally, the last thing I want to do at the end of the day, after I've exerted so much energy into every single other part of my life, the last thing that I want to do is to then go be all right, how the hell am I going to get 80 grams of protein? How am I going to crash 800 calories? How am I going to crash 6,000 steps? That's just a really crappy feeling to end your day with, right? You want to feel hey, I'm done with work. I'm signing off. I'm logging out, all of the things. And I get to go to bed and relax so that I can, again, wake up rested the next day to hit it hard again. So anyways, let's talk about front loading your days for success. So I already mentioned, tracking calories, tracking protein. Let's throw in tracking fiber as well. Those are the three big variables when it comes to nutrition that I really, really love women to take a big picture look at every single day, right? We don't have to get caught up in all of the minutia and all of our carbs and all of our fats, but we do need to know, am I getting enough food, enough units of energy, i.e. calories? Am I getting enough protein? Why? Because protein is super satiating. It helps you to maintain and build lean muscle mass, and it's going to help you to stay fuller for longer. And we want to build those lean muscles, and we want to make sure that we're full throughout the day, right? The last thing we want to be is ravenous when we get home from work and we're just diving through all the cupboards. So anyways, we want our calories, enough energy, we want enough protein to support what we need to maintain on our body, lean body mass, and we want enough fiber so that we have good digestion, right? If you're not getting enough fiber in your diet, chances are you're not having regular bowel movements. You're not having regular bowel movements. Guess what else is happening? You are stalling fat loss, right? You need to be having daily bowel movements. Yes, this is what we're here for. This is what we talk about in our coaching. I need to know that you're going to the bathroom every day and that it is normal every day. And if you want to know what normal is, go Google the Bristol stool chart, and that'll go give you some ideas about where you lie in terms of the quality of your poo, if you will. So go check it out. It's very interesting. Anyways, so front loading your days with calories, protein, and fiber looks like this. It looks like, okay, how can I make the first meal of my day something that incorporates a healthy amount of all of those things? We want to make sure we're getting an optimal amount of calories to help fuel us throughout the day, especially those of you who get halfway through your day and you're like, holy crap, I've had coffee today. And that is all. nothing else but coffee. I promise you, if you've reached midway through your day and you have only had coffee, you are already going to need that afternoon nap. You're already going to think you need that afternoon dose of caffeine. And those are the wrong things. Those are not going to set you up for success. So what do we want to do instead? We want to make sure we're starting the day with a plentiful meal that includes decent amount of calories, decent amount of protein, decent amount of fiber. So this is going to be different for everybody, right? Let's pretend you're somebody who eats 4 meals per day, we'll call it. Maybe you have breakfast, you have lunch, you have dinner, and maybe there's a snack in there somewhere. So if you're having 4 meals per day, excuse me, and let's just say you're somebody who eats about 2,000 calories a day, which is super normal. Okay, cool. So you should be having at least a quarter of those calories in that first meal of the day so that you feel satiated, satisfied. What I oftentimes see women doing is this bullshit where they're like hoarding their calories for the end of the day. They're like, oh, well, I have like a 100-calorie breakfast bullshit thing, right? Like a single egg muffin that they got from Costco. They've got those 70-calorie egg muffin things. That ain't gonna cut it, sister. You need to be having plenty more calories to get you through the day, to get that energy and to hold you off until that next meal. All right. If you're somebody who's waking in the morning and you're not hungry for that first hour or so in the morning, that's the problem, you guys. It is not a good thing to not be hungry. I know some of you walk around with it like a badge of honor, like, oh, I'm never hungry. It's so cool. No, that's not cool. That's a really, really bad sign of a downregulated metabolism. And guess what the problem is with the downregulated metabolism is? It means fat loss is going to be nearly impossible until you can upregulate that metabolism. Totally different subject for a totally different day. But again, breaking it down super simply, if you were eating about 2,000 calories per day, if you're eating whatever amount of calories per day, figure out how many meals throughout the day you're eating. And that first meal should be what you need to succeed. So again, if you're eating 4 times per day, take your calories, divide it by 4, and let's make sure that that first meal of the day has at least about a quarter of your calories. That should start you off nice and easy. Okay, so what does that first meal need to look like to tide you over? Well, we're going to want the protein and we're going to want the fiber that I already talked about, right? So what is your overall protein goal? So again, this is just some simple math. If you're somebody, so for example, you're eating 2,000 calories and you're eating, we'll call it 150 grams of protein. No, we'll do 160 grams of protein per day. So Crystal can do easy math. Let's say you're having 160 grams. Cool. Throughout 4 meals, what does that look like? About 40 grams of protein in all 4 of those meals. If you're somebody who's only eating 3 times a day, guess what? That's going to be closer to about 50 grams of protein in those 3 meals. Okay. Again, this is going to help you so that you don't reach the end of the day and you've got 80 grams of protein left to slam. Start portioning out your day. Your meals should be pretty similar in size throughout the day so that you're not having those blood sugar spikes, so that you're not feeling ravenous from one meal to the next. You should feel normal hunger cues when it's time to eat on a regular, consistent basis. So if you typically are somebody who eats at 6 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 6 p.m., awesome. Keep doing that. Just make sure that those 4 meals look pretty similar to one another so that you're never starving before it's time to have that next meal. Okay. So do that with your protein. And here's the pro tip. Do it with your fiber too. If you're somebody who should be having about 30 grams of fiber per day, cool. How do we split that up over the course of the day? If you're somebody who is having 3 meals a day, that looks like 10 grams of fiber in each of those meals. If you're somebody who's eating 4 times a day, we're looking at closer to 7 or 8 grams of fiber in each meal. So whatever you start with in that first meal, keep replicating that throughout the day so that, again, everything feels really well balanced. Okay, so front load your day with a good, satisfying breakfast, plenty of calories, plenty of protein, plenty of fiber, so you are not playing catch up at the end of the day. Okay, so what's a great meal that could promote all of these things? Make a big scramble. You can make a breakfast bake. This is when, you guys, if you are busy and you don't have time to be making yourself a breakfast every day, this is when breakfast bakes and casseroles and stuff like that come in super handy. And I know I've got recipes in here posted for them. Look for them. They're a long time ago, but just look for them. If you're not really sure, wow, this thing doesn't like me talking to just myself. If you're not really sure about what specifically you could make for your own breakfast casserole, there's a thing called Google. Google high protein breakfast casserole or something. Okay. And if you're one of my clients, awesome. I'll hook you up. I'll let you know where to go. I will put it for you in our client group so that you can have it yourself. I've got a really delicious one that has like sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, bacon, eggs. I'm here for it. It's amazing. And then another one that is pretty damn good as well, but doesn't have all that fun stuff. So anyways, start off strong with your breakfast that gets you plenty of nutrients. Next topic. All right. Let's talk about the other things you struggle with at the end of the day. You're struggling to get in your water at the end of the day. Let's say you're somebody like me who is trying to get in. Ooh, I see Jen. She wants those recipes. You're somebody who's trying to get in that gallon a day. And all of a sudden at the end of the day, you have 40 ounces left to drink. Holy shit, guys, this happened to me a lot a few weeks ago. It was rough. And when I did it, I knew I was doing it. I knew I was setting myself up for failure. And I failed, right? I had to get up in the middle of the night to pee like every night. And so then I'm like doing my check-in to my coach and I'm like, because one of the questions is like, do you stay asleep? And it's like, I would, except that I'm an idiot and I keep chugging 40 ounces of water before I go to bed because I'm being lazy about drinking my water throughout the day. And I know I just need to be better about it. So start strong, right? This is when habit stacking becomes really, really valuable, you guys. If you are somebody who, again, struggles to get in water, but you have absolutely zero problem getting in that coffee first thing in the morning, you need to flip that shit right there. Start with the water. This is literally what I force myself to do every single day. I have my water bottle. I fill it full. Okay, this is a 40 ouncer right here, ish, give or take, depends how much ice I got in there. I have to drink an entire bottle of water before I can drink my coffee. You guys know I love my coffee. It is delicious. It is caramel cookie Nespresso. It is amazing. I get 4 servings of my Oat Yeah frothed creamer and it is amazing. But I don't get to earn that until I have put some water down my throat, you guys. If I'm trying to drink 128 ounces per day, you know the best way to set myself up for success is drinking 40 ounces before I've done absolutely anything else. So if this is like impossible for you, you're like, oh no, I'm rushing. I got to get out the door. I've got stuff to do. Cool. You know what you can do? You can fill this bottle of water the night before, put it in your fridge. As soon as you get up, oh, this is going to help you get some steps in too. Walk into your kitchen, get that water bottle, and you better start chugging while you're doing all the things around your house before you leave the house in the morning. Okay. So super simple habit stacking, have your water, then you can earn your coffee. And here's another really great one. If you're somebody who goes out for morning walks or whatever, take your water with you. Oh my gosh. Who would imagine? Yes. Take your water with you. Okay. And then if you're somebody who, what I used to do is, so I would get up super early. Obviously I had to be up at like 3 a.m., be to work at 4 a.m., all the things. What I did to make myself successful was I maybe wasn't going to be able to drink because I was rushing to get out the door. Okay. But what I did do is I filled this bad boy and I had to chug it and drink all of it before I got to my destination. So whether I was going to the airport for work, whether I was going to Orange Theory for work, I made sure I drank that entire bottle of water before I got to that building. Okay. It's as simple as that. Make it a competition with yourself. I've talked about this before where like if you're out running errands or something and you've got your bottle of water with you, which you always should have your bottle, of water with you, make it a competition of like, okay, I'm going to drink all this before I get home. I literally do that every time I leave my house, you guys. If there's anything left and I am like a few blocks away, I'm like, all right, bitch, start chugging. And that's what we do. Okay. So get in your calories in the day, your protein, your fiber, get in your water, all those things early on in the morning so that you are not playing catch up at the end of the day. And the last big one that I want to talk about for front loading your day is going to be your steps. So you already heard me kind of say, if you're going out for a morning walk, take your water with you, double whammy right there. So one of the things to break down for you is typically what we like to see is a minimum of about 7,000 steps per day. That is what all of us adults should be able to do on a regular basis. Really no ifs, ands, or buts. It shouldn't even take a thought in your head to get it done. It's just that it does become something we have to do because we become so sedentary, right? We actually do have to think about it because we have become so sedentary as I sit here at my desk, right? So in order to bang out some steps early on in the day, go for a walk, right? Like get it done. And I posted about this like on my stories earlier. Like if it's too hot for you to go out and work out, get up earlier, right? So even today I had to go do a 30-minute run. I was training a client at my house at 6:30. And so what did I have to do? I had to make sure that I got up in an hour that would allow me to get in that 30 minutes of movement before I had to go on and do something else. So typically I don't get up till 6 a.m. What did I have to do today? I had to get up at 5 a.m. Okay. It's just what it is. That is the life that I live, where if I want to get something done and I have to rearrange my schedule in order to do it, then that's what I'm going to do. That also meant I had to go to bed an hour earlier last night. So that's something as well. If you are not going to bed at a reasonable hour, start reverse engineering this stuff. You're not going to be able to go out and get that morning walk if you're not going to bed early enough to get your 7 hours of sleep, right? So go to bed earlier so you can get up earlier so you can move earlier. I promise you, you guys, if you set yourself up for success by getting in movement first thing in the morning, it changes the game, all right? It makes life so much easier. You will have more energy. I know it feels tough at first because you're like, no, I'm tired. I just want to sleep. Like, I want to stay in bed. Bed is the best place ever. Like, I get that. But once you start making morning movement just a daily thing that you do, I promise you, everything else in your life just feels so much better. All of a sudden, you have this circadian rhythm reset because you're getting that early morning sun exposure and your body responds to that. You guys, we were not meant to be up past 10 o'clock with these blue screens in front of our face. That's not what we were meant to do, right? There's no reason to think that us staying up past 10 o'clock with a screen right in front of our face is going to be beneficial to everything we need to do every day, right? It's not beneficial to the energy levels that you need to live your best life. So get your ass out the house, get that sunshine if you possibly can. If it is too sketchy or whatever for you to be out walking first thing in the morning, don't worry about it. Find another solution, right? Maybe you have a treadmill at your house. It doesn't need to be a big fancy one. You can literally buy one of those walking treadmill, like it's just a walking pad that goes like 3 miles an hour. And that is so much better than nothing. You can get a gym membership, whatever. I would so much rather, if you are able to though, get outside while you can with the sun shining and try to get that back in check. So for every about 10 minutes of walking, you're going to get about 1,000 steps. And of course, that's going to be different for everybody, but I just try to break that up to make it make sense to people. So if you're somebody who needs to hit 7,000 steps per day, that looks like about 70 minutes of walking. So of course you're going to get steps doing other random things throughout the day, which is great. But if you're somebody who only like looks at your watch and you're getting 2,000 or 3,000 steps per day just by doing the things that you normally do, guess what, sister? Buck up and get outside for an extra 30 to 40 minutes. And if that feels really overwhelming to go do something for 30 to 40 minutes, please check your screen time on your phone and let me know how much time you're spending on your phone. I guarantee it's probably at least 30 or 40 minutes that you could go walk, right? And if you're like me, I like to multitask where I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be scrolling my phone, bitch, your ass is going to be moving on that treadmill or going to be outside walking around, because I would rather feel a little bit productive about wasting my life on social media by, again, doing something really beneficial for me, okay? And again, still, if 30 to 40 minutes just seems too much, habit stacking comes in really handily. So every time you eat a meal, can you go walk for 5 to 15 minutes after the fact, right? That really breaks down that 30 to 40 minutes, right? If you only had to walk for, let's call it 10 minutes after breakfast, after lunch, after dinner, all of a sudden you've got 3,000 extra steps that you weren't getting before. So break it down to those smaller chunks if that feels more digestible for you. But if you're somebody who could afford to get up 30 minutes earlier to get out the house to go walk for 30 minutes, that'd be so beneficial for you guys. And if you're like, well, I don't know if I'll have time, I'm gonna be rushing and getting ready and all the things, cool, like go take a shower, get ready, whatever. The walk that you're doing in the morning really shouldn't be anything super exerting that's causing you to like sweat and be exhausted and fatigued or anything like that. It should just be, hey, I'm out here enjoying some time by myself, I'm getting the blood flowing, I'm feeling really good. And it really, honestly, you guys, I've been really treasuring these mornings where I do have that opportunity to just go by myself. Sometimes I take Chloe. If it's already too hot for her, then I don't. But I really enjoy just that peace and quiet and time alone to think, to not think, to just enjoy what's going on around me. Like, and I really recommend that be something that you guys do as well. Take some alone time. It's really, really good for us, especially because we can just be so caught up in like everybody else's ish, right? Like sometimes we just need some time to think about us, come back, get recentered, rebalanced, and think about, what do I get to do today to take care of me? And the first thing that you did was probably make that decision to go for a walk, to drink some water, and hopefully come home and eat some delicious, amazing breakfast that's going to fill you up for hours to come. So anyways, that's kind of what I want to talk about today, you guys. Starting that day by front loading it for success. This could go into all other spin-offs, right? Like, for example, on the weekends, if you tend to be going out and partying and doing all the things, whatever, and then I have people that want to go have like a bougie ass dinner or whatever, cool, like go do those things, but front load your day with the things that you know are going to be really beneficial for you, right? Go have fun, have the drinks, have a delicious dinner, but early on in the day, start off with the quality calories, the protein, the fiber, the water, the movement, the steps, all the things that are going to help you to not then want to go overdo it later on at night because you starved yourself, right? Don't starve yourself. Front load your day with quality input, and then at night go enjoy yourself. So anyways, I hope this was at least a little bit helpful. I appreciate you. Ooh, yes, I love that, Jen. Gratitude walks. Thank you for that. That is a really great way to look at it. And I'm going to start calling it that. So if you're a client of mine and you want to check in for your morning gratitude walks or evening gratitude walks, we should probably post that in our one-on-one chatter. And if you ain't in there, you're missing out, my friends. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. If you have any tips about other things that you guys do to set yourselves up for success early on in the day, I would love to hear about it. So please drop it in the comments. If you have questions, comments, thoughts, responses, holla at your girl. I'm here for you. But I hope you all have an amazing weekend. I am heading to Scottsdale, so I might effing die because it's going to be hot. And one of my friends down there might actually be talking me into doing a 10-mile run because we both have 10-mile training runs this weekend. So T's and P's, send me all the good vibes. Please send me the good vibes so that I have good travel, because last time I flew a couple weeks ago, it wasn't so great. I had to stay an extra night in St. Louis. But yeah, I appreciate you all. Have an amazing one. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, ladies.